Hello my fellow Retromaniacs and welcome to Let's Read Heart of the Alien Manual. In other words, Out of This World Parts 1 and 2 Manual for Sega CD. So yesterday I started playing the game and got stuck almost right away. You know, the trouble is that in that kind of game you really have to think outside of the box, but you shouldn't also overthink, because most often it's the obvious choice, obvious strategy to go there. But yeah, there isn't any official strategy guide for this game, as far as I know. So the manual is the only thing I got. So let's see now. Starting your experiment. Yeah. That's just general thing there. Choosing the variables. In other words, menu. This game loads. First thing to come up on the screen will be the Sega logo, followed by Virgin logo. The screen will come up. You can choose which adventure. Yes. Okay, controls. Left moves character, right. Character jumps up to climb. Okay, so this I didn't know, that you can climb. Okay. Buttons A. Character runs when moving. I know that. Shoots a blast of energy if standing still, yes. If you hold the A button down, you can form a super blast, as in Out of This World 1. Tap the button for a small shot. Hold the button for a protection force field. Keep holding the button for a super blast. Oh! Maybe I have to use the super blast, because I was just creating those force fields. But maybe you have to like destroy a barrier with a super blast. That might be it. Controls the whip. I don't have any whip. This is the only weapon you'll have at your disposal throughout the game. Wait a second, I don't have any whip. So be sure to find it as soon as you can. Okay, so you can get it at some point. And don't let it out of your grip. As you'll see in the flashback, the whip is energized. Constantly be on the lookout for energy stations where you can recharge your weapon. Use the direction pad to aim. You can direct your whip to the right, left, or upward. You can not whip downward. Try to get a cool whip to attach to something overhead and swing. Okay, so you're using it like Castlevania, but also you have to use it as like Indiana Jones. C, jump forward. Use the A and C button with the direction pad for a running jump. Yeah. Use this button to start the game. Also press pause action in plus second. Yes. Save codes. But the thing is that is it actually possible to like you know, softlock the game. I mean, that you cannot kill yourself, but you cannot progress the game either. So, but that I don't think so, because that would be poor game design to allow you to force you to restart the game. Okay, that's just the story. Yeah, the thing I was wondering if I can control the ugly fellow who joined me, but I guess there's no like commands. He does what he needs to do on his own. You were Dr. Lester Knight Shalkin, a young, brilliant. Okay, why you were? You are. It's like, are these characters dead now? We're talking about past tense. A young, brilliant physicist working on a particle acceleration experiment. An electrical storm caused your experiment to go awry. Suddenly you discovered that you weren't in the safety of your office anymore. Yeah, you shouldn't have used that acceleration on your own. I mean, there was no one there. And in the cutscene, he was all alone. You'd been sucked into a world that's part future, part prehistorical. Unearthly beasts and humanoids roamed the barren land, yet modern weapons like laser guns. Well, that's not modern, that's science fiction. And electrical shields were available. It was your mission to return to the safety of your home world. You had to battle poisonous leeches and beasts. Eventually you were knocked unconscious and taken prisoner. Sometime later you found yourself with a lamp on the head and sharing a suspended cage with a strange-looking humanoid. This humanoid aided in your escape and quickly became your buddy. Together you crawled through tunnels, swam channels, battled prison guards, and evaded the prison's security forces. And at the end out of this world, you and your buddy had escaped the clutches of the evil warden and flown to safety on the back of a futuristic pterodactyl. But where are you now? Okay, so this was the first part, and then the sequel. In Heart of the Alien, Lester and Buddy fly in the back of the same pterodactyl on which they flew out of the part 1. Spoilers! The bird lizard lands in the middle of a small ruined village, Lester is unconscious. As Buddy lays Lester on a cot to recuperate, he has a flashback. This tiny village was once full of citizens and very prosperous. He was their leader. Strong and good. One day, without warning, the village was attacked and destroyed by the guards of the slave prison, led by the humanoid with red eyes. Buddy's loyal pet beast was sent running for his life. Throughout the attack, Buddy used his energized whip to valiantly defend his village, but eventually he was stripped of his weapon and overcome. He remembers waking up in the same suspended cage with Lester. That was when he first met this strange-looking being. In Heart of the Alien, you take on the role of Buddy. It is your mission to return to the prison and rescue the surviving enslaved villagers. Find and kill the prison warden, the humanoid with red eyes. You must have revenge for this role in the attack on your peaceful village. All you have to start out with is your strength and your brains. Use them wisely. The future of your village is in your hands. Okay, tips, secrets of survival. As you set out on your mission, you will have only your sense of survival to rely on. Find a whip as soon as possible. The only weapon you will have. No, it's the gun. Use both your brains and your strength to get you from areas to area. Well, that's not a tip, that's obvious. Use your whip to swing across chasms. Keep a lookout for energized room stations. Here is where your whip can be re-energized. Look for the bomb. Look for the bomb's timer. Look for a place where the bomb and timer can be used. Well, these were quite useless, because I'm stuck in the elevator room. Okay, more story. The story of Lester Knight Shakin. Lester Knight Shakin jumped into his black Ferrari. Have they actually licensed Ferrari? I didn't notice. And sped toward the laboratory. All he wanted was to get his experiments as quickly as possible. If the changes he had been mulling over all day worked, it was almost too much to consider. Ominous clouds and the crackling of not-so-distant electrical storm filled his ears as he drove. Electrical storm. That's not a human world phenomena. You mean a storm? You mean thunderstorm? So intent was he on his aims that he hardly noticed. He should have. Any thoughts of the brewing storm were soon forgotten once Lester stepped into the quiet of the elevator. His slow descent into the lab only built his excitement. Spending some time away from the experiment had given him a better understanding of his previous errors, and Lester was sure that his new particle acceleration experiment would be perfect this time. He is new. How can you afford to have your own particle acceleration experiment? It's like cost like tens of billions of dollars, and it's like thousands of workers. You wouldn't allow just one person to operate that kind of thing. Anyway, impatiently, Lester waited to gain security access to the lab. While the computer slowly matched his DNA, he reviewed once more exactly what he would do. Shuffling through the pizza boxes, well, that's a normal nerd food, and other debris that lined the floor of his office, he flipped on his computer and quickly typed in his password. After entering the parameters for his new experiment, he sat back and waited, as he had done hundreds of times before. Lester cracked a soda while the computer chugged away with the test. So many hours had gone into this project. Had we finally made a breakthrough? Any minute he would know. So what was he planning? What was his plan? What, finding a new particle? What? Doesn't matter. Meanwhile, unbeknownst to Lester, the storm had continued to grow. Closer rolled the black clouds. Brighter grew the flicker of lightning until suddenly, while Lester sat watching his experiment run to perfection, the sky unleashed a tremendous bolt of lightning, slashing through the night air and hitting the laboratory with deadly accuracy. Shouldn't they have like lightning rod to steer the electricity to go outside of the building? Just as the computer activated the accelerator, the lightning found its way into the system with almost willful precision. Hitting the end of the accelerator, the bolt exploded through the wall and struck the very spot where Lester sat. It coiled around him like a python until a massive charge had built, detonating a brilliant flash of light. Only an empty space was left where Lester used to be. Okay, so this just describes the opening cutscenes. Doesn't bring any new information. It's like, oh, maybe there's like a version without the cutscene, I don't know. Wait a second. That's the same. They're reusing the same pages there. Look, it's the same text. Close Sega CD. I don't know. Kick crouch will move you up. Kick. You can only fire if stationary. Kick, fire gun. Holding down this button and pushing the directional pad left or right will make character run. You can only start running if you are already moving. Jump. Save codes. Your first encounter. Warning, this section contains hints that give away parts of the game. Only read this section if you're stuck. Well, I'm stuck. Press up the directional pad when entering the water stream and surface. Once you get to the surface, walk to the right. The next screen. Hostile leeches will fall from the ceiling. You must attack them by kicking to squeeze them. You can also duck and attack at the same time to squeeze a leech that is too far away from you. Be careful not to let any land on you. After squeezing the leeches on the second screen, walk to the next screen to the right. There will be many more leeches to squeeze. You must squeeze all leeches on these two screens before proceeding to the next screen to the right. Well, I didn't. Or did I? After entering the fourth screen, walk to the right until the beast attacks. As soon as you see him, move to the left and press the attack button. This will make your player run away. Keep running to the left until you get to the screen with the hanging vine. Keep running to the edge and jump to the vine. But yeah. Okay, yeah, there's nothing new there. Secrets of the Other World. If you're stuck, read these hints and think any of them apply in your situation. Make sure that you do not forget to find and pick up your gun. Do not leave your buddy behind. There are more ways to kill guards than just shooting them. Before leaving the underground city, make sure that you save your buddy. It is not always wise to shoot the guards. Deactivate all power circuits. You can make a force field with your gun by holding a button for a short time and then releasing. You can make a super shot by holding down the button for a larger period of time. Yeah, I think the super shot is the thing I have to do. So I'm gonna try that. Hint information. Yeah, I'm gonna call no. It's probably some adult phone line there. Okay, so that was it.